Thank you so much. Uh, Good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for inviting me to share this stage with our renowned filmmaker Rima Das. I was.
Pleasure also.
It's really so nice to meet you, and it doesn't feel I'm meeting you for the first time. Uh, I'm actually a very personal admirer of your work, the beautiful work that she has done, and it's really nice to share this stage to understand more about her creative process. I can see a lot of design, art, literature students already sitting here and sharing the same space of conversation today here at Karnavati University. And mostly all of you must be waiting to hear more about her and her films and the stories that she has to share with us. So, welcome once again.
Thank you. And thank you also, everyone. It's a beautiful university. Really, I'm glad to be here with you all. Yeah.
So, can you walk us through your life, such as your childhood, your education, your experience, and how they have shaped you to be the person you are today? Maybe we should begin with that. A little bit more about yourself.
I'm I'm coming from a village. I'm from Assam and a small village, Choigaon, Kaladia. So my childhood, it was exciting. It was quite normal, uh, like climbing trees. I'm saying first I'm saying climbing trees because that is my most favorite one. And then doing everything possible in the village. And only later on you are asking how it shaped my life when I was in Mumbai and started making movies, films. Then only I realized, how beautiful, how important my childhood, to shape my life. So yeah, it's like I did everything, kind of every little things. I think if anyone watch my film like Village Rockstars, then my main protagonist who knew whatever she did, I think I did. Yeah,
Was a reflection of you. I hope all of
I
you have
must
watched
say.
Village Rockstars. If not, please do watch. There was a screening that was going to happen, but the film is with your college. Please do watch to relate to the stories that we are sharing and remember the conversation.
Also, you can watch. It's on Netflix. I think it would be really nice after you watch my film to talk about it. So you can watch it's there, and I'd also love to. I'm promoting my films. Like Bulbul Can Sing, that is also there. I'll be happy. Yes. Yeah.
So,
Thank
what
you.
led you to the world of art and cinema? You said that you had started all these when you shifted to Bombay. So, how did you begin your career there, and what led you to the world of art and films?
I'm coming from a place where films are to be watched, not to be made. I'm coming from a village. I never imagined. But from my childhood, I was always interested in doing acting. So I came to Bombay actually to become an actor. So I had no clue about filmmaking. And if you are talking about art, I think it is somewhere always there inside. And only I realized later on when I started watching world cinema. Probably I'm because I never imagined in Mumbai someone going to produce my film because I was struggling, like I was looking for acting job, and it was a very different, culturally different, place for me. And when I got that opportunity to watch films, it just, came to my mind that I should also try to tell stories. That's how it started. And art is like, I feel it is everywhere, seen, unseen, in any form. And I was really fascinated by cinema because it's such a powerful visual art and medium where like other arts are also there. It's a collaboration of other arts, so it was really amazing to. And I was also mesmerized by watching world cinema because I grew up watching Bollywood films, and for me Bollywood films are, it was I didn't imagine to make that time a Bollywood film, because you can see it's a big budget and the scale is big. But when but world cinema, I felt like, okay, you can go back to your village and a small place also tell stories. Yeah, that's
So, do
how
you
I see.
think like independent films are also a very great medium to share the story more than in comparison to Bollywood film? Like more story of your kind?
It's not like story of my kind, but if you want to see real India and also to build a society, then Bollywood films are also important. Okay, it is, we are watching, like, from for me also, I'm watching these films from childhood. But independent space is where you can experiment. You can, if it is a commercial big budget film, there are many people are involved. It's like a formula also, how to attract audience, how to sell. It's also like a product.
Yeah.
But when you are making an independent film, it is your vision, entirely your vision, and you are just putting up something, and I think it is also great satisfaction in a different way.
So it brings in a lot of diversity, I believe, to also the audience, the kind of, because media definitely shapes the society that we are uh, in, and also the society that we are going to become. So you think
There
that,
should be a balance. There should be a balance, definitely, because it's so important where we are heading. I was also attending that paparazzi, session. So where we are heading is also so important. So we don't need to. I'm not saying, like, even I want to make a commercial film. So we need a balance to build a society. That is what I feel. And with the success of Village Rockstars, I have seen that so many people, our audience are ready to, a new class of audience also there
emerge.
emerged, and they are ready to it with these OTT platforms. They like to watch content driven films. And India, like, it's a, like, that imperfection is the beauty here. And everywhere if you go, you see stories. It's such a beautiful, amazing country, with such diversity. Why should not we explore it? We should, right? So that's what I believe, and this is the right time, I think.
Yeah. So with the village rock star and Bulbul Can Sing, that's another movie of Rima Das. Both the stories comes from talks about everyday life of a village in Assam, and I believe that is Choigaon, from where you are. So, what was the reason behind choosing these stories, and how did you conceptualize the storyline?
Being in Mumbai for some long time, chasing my dream, living more a materialistic life, I was also looking for motivation. So when I was back to my roots and started making my films there, then closely I observed, how also, like, life can be beautiful without so many materialistic things. And sometimes we are stuck there. We are just doing things, but we are not living our life, living small moments, living like that small joys in our life. And then that's how I decided to make, because it was like quite spontaneously, and it was quite organic for me. Like it came to my mind that if I am inspired and motivated, probably other people, they would also, you know, be motivated. So that's how it started. Yeah.
So, you also mentioned before that, or maybe I know that you don't come from a professional filmmaking background and you acquired it as in your journey. So, how did you go about the process? Like, what made you choose that you want to make a fiction film and not a non-fictional one for the Village Rockstar? Was it something that you decided before? Or did you realize as you delve much deeper into the process of creation?
Not coming from school, film school, because I'm self-taught, so I was more exposed to first like fiction films. So I honestly till now also have not seen many documentaries. That is one thing. So I was more mesmerized by like fiction films, and also I like the idea that in fiction how you can create your own world. You know, the way in Village Rockstars, it was more like a mother daughter relationships, nature and dreams. So मुझे वो अच्छा लगता है कि मैंने हमारी लाइफ में बहुत सारी चीज़ें होता है, हमें लगता है अरे मैं ऐसा करती, नो, few things are there we missed out, and I like that I can imagine and I can bring those things in a film, what I didn't live. You know, here everyone like they loved mother daughter relationship. So you can create that. Okay, this is how it should be. So that's so beautiful. That's the reason. Although my films mostly people say they are realistic, because I mostly my actors they are non-actors, so it is close to life, but still my imagination, you know, few things it is real life, but also my imagination. I like to, you know, like mix
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
So
that's
it's natural, more natural because they are not in the shoes of being an actor. So they can portray or they can just be.
yes. I myself. It is with me also. I can be with myself. Yeah. Yes. So I love fiction more. I would like to. I like experiment, make documentaries, but I love fiction because I can fly, I can dream, and yeah, I can execute. Yeah, it gives more freedom to me.
So, as I was asking before, that was there any process? Like, how did you go about it? Did you start writing the script and then pick the small instances, how to frame it into the story? How did you go about the process of creation? I'm asking this question because I'm sure there are a lot of visual and communication design students and many others who probably want to become a filmmaker. So if you have to educate them or share with them a little bit about how was the process for you, so they can find out their own as well.
It's very simple actually. First, I the way we say that you cannot step in the same river twice. So every moment it just changing, you know, it's changing. So my process is also like that. Go with an open mind. I just live for some time. Idea if it comes to my mind, I just live. If I feel like after few days, I'm convinced I want to tell this story, then I live with it. I go, I shoot, I start observing, like be with my characters. I edit. It is lots of back and through. You know, some in the midway also with Bulbul can sing. It was more love stories, but later on it become more a story like about friendship. So I like to play around because it is possible with me, because I'm the producer. I'm mostly, I have that control. I think that's the reason it is possible for me. But if you are having a producer and a lot of money involved, then it's difficult. But I mostly, if it is, I'm working from my production, I just like to just yeah, I like to be
Yeah.
free and do it. That's my process.
So you mentioned that so basically, you write the script, you direct the movie, you also edit the films, you shoot the films. So in retrospective, what what are the in retrospect, what are the advantages and disadvantages of working individually in compared to working in a group?
uh, Freedom, like when I'm working, everything, it is autonomously, it is more freedom, solitude. And that process, it is quite challenging also sometimes, but you can enjoy the process, you can live. I did my first film, Man with the Binocular, with a crew. It was, I shot that film for 30 days, I think 24 to 30 days. So I felt limited. But I was shooting Village Rockstars for 3 years. So it is just, it transformed my life. So when I made Man with the Binocular, then because I'm coming from a family from academic background, my parents, they wanted me to teach, and I cleared my net exam also. So after that, I was looking for acting job, and then into filmmaking. What was your question? I'm sorry.
No, I was asking if you were working in a group,
Right.
what are the advantage
So
and what are
yes,
the
so
disadvantages?
I didn't do like the parents they wanted. Sometimes they said that, are you mad, after you cleared
Clearing
net
net.
exam, now you want to become an actor, now you want to become a filmmaker. Then when I was doing my first film, it was a lot of stress. Then I realized, like, what is the point if I am not enjoying what I am doing? So that is what I'm doing now, like, you know.
So, what do you think
So,
about collaboration in that
yeah,
case?
so collaboration, my recent film, Tora's Husband, when I'm watching the film in the theater with Bulbul and Village Roxas, I didn't feel like, okay, I needed collaboration, because I felt like the story, both of the stories and subjects needed that kind of time and solitude to make it. But when I was watching my recent film, when I'm watching, I feel like it could have been better if I collaborated with right editor, right production designer, art, costume. I felt that, because sometimes you feel limited, because you sometimes you cannot do everything by yourself. But with the right cinematography, because my cinematography knowledge is also limited, because I'm not technically trained. I see and feel, and I should. But when I'm watching my recent film, I feel like, if I have that, like-minded people who understand my vision, that kind of collaboration definitely can, bring the way I am visualizing my film. Yeah.
Yeah, to some extent, I mean, it fulfill the gaps, like, and different other people can contribute
Of
uh,
course,
to the
why not?
expertise.
Yes.
But do you also feel that sometime, when you do things on your own, you have the freedom, and it actually can allow you to hone the craft? You can really build the craft of your creation in a way that it is complete in itself. Like the intent is not compromised. The intent as well as the intensity of the creation is not compromised. Do you feel so?
Like making it,
Yeah, when you do things alone, you actually get so much of room to keep, honing the craft again and again till it comes to a space where it is self spoken.
Yeah, it is because your characters, nature, everything, complements what you are doing. And if it is disturbed, by too many things, too many people, you might not get that kind of result. That purity of that thing can be lost. Yeah.
So, considering that your film, both the films, The Village, Rockstar, as well as Bulbul Can Sing, both of them deals very intimately with the themes of village life. What is your worldview about the life and emotion of village youth today, especially with the exploration that you had done while you were making the film?
When I was making my earlier two films, that time it was different, but with internet, now it is fast, changing. And I feel like also youth in the villages, they are quite confused also because suddenly it is happening, they are exposed to a world and their family, parents are also not ready how to, there is a huge communication gap. They don't know how to handle their kids and youth. So it's scary sometimes, I feel like. And I don't know how, you know, how we can help them. But they
What are
don't
their
know what to
desires?
say.
What are their desires or what are their emotion? What do they aspire to become in general? What is your opinion? What have you observed?
Parents are still, they want their kids to have a job.
Dictate.
Still, yes, but uh, their kids are, I think, because it is also their like uncertain world also they are living. So it is so difficult now to say. I think after 5 years we can say where we are heading, especially in villages. Now they are just learning and doing something. They are just following, imitating.
And technology does play a very important role to create this shift, which is also indirectly shown in your film, where Dhonu actually takes the guitar and she is fascinated with the fact that she can access the technique or the technology. So, but do you think there is an accelerated change or is the change gradual to what they can absorb in the village? Is it too sudden?
It is too sudden, yeah, for them. It is too sudden, I think. They are spending lot of time like, you know, we are also not able to control ourselves what to see, and they are totally lost. Most of them, they don't know what is Google, but they are just watching reels, so that is how I can see them. So that is the scary part.
So when you, like, when they saw themselves casted on a film and then got so much popularity, how did they react?
They are just happy that they are seen, they are in television, they are in the newspaper, they are happy, and they also have that, oh, we have achieved something. But they have, like, they don't have that kind of ambition. Now here in this university, students are coming to pursue something, and they have that kind of dream. But with me, what is happening, I'm trying to motivate them, but they don't actually know, like, they don't have that kind of ambition to become an actor. So for me also, I was earlier quite emotional that they should, act, like, achieve something else, what
Yeah.
is next. But I feel like most of them are, it is not inside them, it is kind of momentary for them.
Okay.
So it will take some time, so because everything, not in my film but in other way also, it is a bit sudden for them.
Yeah. So
And mostly forget about the youths and children, especially the adults also, they don't know how to, handle it. That is the challenging part, I think. Yeah.
so mostly you mean to also say that they are happy right now because they got to act in a film, they got to see themselves on the screen, and of course they get the popularity in the schools, nearby places, so they are happy with a very simple reason. Other adults sensitized or sensitive towards the fact that their story is been depicted in a way that nobody could have probably
Yeah.
stitched
Yes,
before,
of course.
because it is
There
very
is.
different, your film is very different to the existing vernacular movies which are there at Assam, right? So are they sensitive about the way
Of
the
course,
story is
yes.
shared?
Not all of them, but there are people, lot of people, they are, yes. And who are not also able to understand it. Also, for them, it is like a memory. They can look back and because with my this they are grown up now. If I ask them their memories, because all my children, during the time of village Rockstars, they all came to Mumbai Film Festival. So still they say that that was their best memories. So I think it is, I cannot see everything from my perspective. They have their own perspective. Yes.
It is so nice that you're helping them craft some beautiful
I
memories
am not
in the
helping. I think they motivated me. It happened because when I was making Village Rockstars, it was when I was making Manu the Binocular, that, like, because I was new, I saw like lot of doubts in, like, my crew members and cast, and that was, made me like insecure. But with these beautiful children, because their innocence, and they never doubted on me. Even 3 years they were working with me, they were my crew. And their parents, they were also, are you mad, why you are following, she is also mad, kind of. That was the environment in my village. Why she's, what she's doing with a small camera. Movies are not made like this. But they believed in me 3 years, and that's the reason. So I'm more actually grateful to them.
yeah.
Yeah.
So to me personally, I mean, Village Rockstar is a beautifully captured. It almost feels like as if it is like well thought of, and there is an ethnographic research that someone might have done to capture the narrative so beautifully. It's actually, whether it is a, if you all have watched the film, then you will see that every single frame, whether in still or in motion, are actually a very like sensorial delight. It gives you that breathing space. Normally when someone is addressing different kind of social issues or social stories, it's very hypersensitive, but on the contrary, Rima's film actually gives you the right amount of breathing space to absorb the story, to understand the perspective of the the uh, protagonist or the actors. So how do you, I feel that you have a beautiful way of, I feel that you have a beauty, I think there is a, okay. So I feel that you have a beautiful way of observing these details. So is it like an observation that you do as a second hand, like, second hand person, or do you go and live with the village and you kind of note down those small little subtle details uh, from your experiences, or is it like pure observation?
It's both. It's just both. It just, I realized, like, that we need to not keep doing things, need to live. So the moments, so silence and the moments, and so much there in nature. And being away from home, I think it taught me a lot, being in Mumbai. Thanks to Mumbai also, because हमारे वहाँ पे बोलते हैं तुम्हारी गांव इतनी खूबसूरत है, विलेज रॉक्सर्स में इतनी खूबसूरत है, लेकिन असम में हर गांव खूबसूरत है. Because I lived in Mumbai, I valued,
Yeah.
okay, this tree is so beautiful, my river is so beautiful. So from away from home, it only taught me. And everything is like every elements in the universe, natures, it helped me to make that movie. And it is so much there. It is just a reflection. Also, it's also reflection of myself, how I see the world, I feel. And also, someone said that we don't have control in our birth, but we have that in our death. So if we are heading to a beautiful death, we can achieve a beautiful death if we do things
Beautifully.
beautifully. Yeah, it is, like it gives you happiness, joy, and also you feel like what we are going to contribute. Nature is giving us so much, and what we are contributing. मैं यहाँ क्या रख के क्या छोड़ के जाने वाली हूँ. When I question, I need to be also useful. So he said that we need to ask questions, right, to ourselves, where your moral values or ethics. So when I ask myself, I feel like that, okay, this is how it should be, and that's only helping. And I'm still learning every day. Every film is a challenge, and we keep changing for me also. And
Yeah, I think, I mean, the way you speak, the simplicity that you carry already speaks a lot about the kind of, visual narrative that you create. And the fact that, the same kind of visual narrative is still continued in Bulbul Can Sing after Village Rockstar pretty much shows that uh, it's an embodied process, and that's the reason you are able to create. You yourself became the process,
this
and therefore you are.
simplicity, because I really had a tough life, like in Mumbai also, in my personal life also. And it just because of that, I think, आप जब खत्म हो जाते हैं तब पता लगता है कि लाइफ क्या है.
Would you like
you
to
know
share something, and how did you reflect, like some
it
reflections?
just it's just nothing. It just, yeah, what do you want me to say?
No, if you want to share, it's so nice to listen to you that you just carry on to the experience of listening, actually. But if you want to share, like some of your hardship, as you mentioned in Bombay, or
It's a normal hardship.
okay,
It's not only in my life, I think many people, it is individually how we take it.
yeah.
Sometimes you are going through hardship and you become more and more bitter. Oh, मुझे मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ. You bitter, and sometimes you can take it okay, because maybe यही होना था. This is, you just want to learn from that, and you just take your life differently.
Yeah. So how do you,
Yeah.
like, after Village Rockstar and suddenly, like, after you became so popular, how do you deal with your creative process actually?
It's
I'm
quite
sure it is very
difficult.
difficult.
Yeah, it is suddenly it become difficult, but I'm learning. I'm learning. It is just, you need to isolate yourself when it is a very personal, individual decision how you want to live your life. And I also keep getting many offers nowadays, OTT, this and that. Then that time I keep asking myself, after 5 years, how I want to see myself. So I keep saying that, like Agnes Vadra, she said that she's working not just to make a film, another film, but keep cinema alive. So I also keep asking myself, I feel so good that after now it is 6 years, 5 years, I think I made Village Rocks. So still I keep getting messages. So I like that. It is not just for some time, but probably creating something. And also in my difficult times, always a good song, a good, poem, or a good film always help me. It always inspired me. So I'm just trying. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, how do you like to address your work? Do you like to call it a art, a classic, or uh, do you want to just be wanting to see it just as a film? How do you want the public to perceive your work?
It is just a bonding and emotional connection we are building. That's it. I think that is the happiness if they are watching it and they in love, like another corner from world, they can connect with that emotional bonding, a community. That's it. I think it is. I don't know like how to. I have not studied also much. Still, I am watching films. Sometimes I've not started from A to Z. I'm starting from anywhere. So I don't want to, I sometimes feel like, okay, I'm just creating something. You can decide it's a cinema or it is just something. It's fine. I don't mind. Just if you are connecting, we are connecting with each other, we are sharing something, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
after your popularity, also after the success of Village Rockstars and other movies, have you been invited to different film colleges to teach how to probably make films?
Yeah, yes.
And
Yes.
if you have attended those, how was your experience? What do you think
It's
about?
always great. It is nice to, I always like that one-to-one conversation. It's always nice. Then this is what I'm enjoying, when uh, attending film festivals and especially meeting students. That's nice. Yeah.
So
Sometimes also they like surprise like me. I am telling my story, but they ask me such question, they are doing their own interpretation. I never thought about it. They are observing small small things. I'm also learning from them.
so the
s-
conversation is still going on in terms of learning.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think about future of independent films? Like, how do you see the future of independent films in India?
It is how we as a society want to grow. I don't think a lot, because it is not my responsibility, it is our everyone's responsibility. How we collaborate with each other, like we can help each other, that is important. So we just need to, that commercial films or independent films, we need to just bring that balance. That is important for us. We have audience, and our youth and like audience, they are interested to watch good content. But as an independent now, I am making movies. I have produced myself. How much I can do myself, I cannot do myself more. But if someone is from other, like honestly media, that time they helped a lot. So if they think like, okay, this kind of content is important for our society, then we can grow more. If they are not thinking, then also, like, I cannot, like, independent filmmakers, they cannot do much by
Yeah.
themselves, right? And yeah, that's it, I think,
So
because
it has to be a responsibility of all, where
yeah, and
they
we
see
need
the
to,
potential of independent films also to shape certain perspectives in the society. And only when everyone collaborates in this field of taking this media also ahead, there is a missing job, right, on the production set. It's a lot of run out, like here and there. So is it because you are a single woman army, and is it also because of the women factoring in to the whole creation that people really wants to talk about a movie and your success and make it here to more audience?
I didn't get your
So is
question.
it also because you are a, how does it make difference because you are a female, you are a woman, does it create any difference in the way how people perceive the film and the success of the film?
I don't think so. It just a film, I think. Most of the film, even I'm watching, I have watched so many films, I don't even remember the director's name. You know, it's a male or female. I don't think like, yeah, yeah. Not for me, I think. Even when I'm doing something, I'm not thinking I'm a female director. I have never thought about it.
So, is there anything else that you would like to address to this beautiful audience and share
I think
some
मैंने
more?
बहुत बोल दिया अभी, yeah, इसलिए.
Okay, so if there are any questions, are we allowed to take questions? Any help? Yeah.
So actually, this is not so much of a question, but you mentioned this one point that now you're thinking maybe collaboration might be a good idea, because how long will you do things on your own? But a film like Village Rockstars actually received a lot of critical acclaim because you not having a formal education in filmmaking and not having a fixed form of doing things gave a very different style to the final outcome, which people are not used to. So, don't you think if you now start collaborating with filmmakers who have studied formally, that might, probably you're standing on the verge of a new style?
It is not that I don't want to work autonomously. It depends on the subjects, you know, stories I want to tell. Few stories definitely I would love to collaborate, and few stories I would like to make in like with in that solitude with me. So sometimes, you know, you visualize, even you want to challenge yourself, I myself, and then I feel limited. So it's not that like with every film I am going to do that. So I want to balance it. Yes.
So, how long? Just one last question I also have. How long did Bulbul Can Sing took for you to make?
1 year.
So, first film took actually like 3 years, and
Yeah.
then 1 year. And Tora's husband?
Tora's has been 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm making now Village Access 2, and it's also going to take 3 years. 2 years I have completed. Now I think I'm hoping, yeah, yes, that's it.
Okay. Any more questions?
Rockstars was such an acclaimed film, like everybody's saying. It premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival. It won a national award. It is sent as a nomination for Academy Awards. One would expect that after so many laurels, work for future films would become easy. Was it with you? Was it easy to find collaborators and finance for your forthcoming projects, or was the struggle still going on?
No, people are approaching me. It's I'm fortunate. I am only a bit slow, like I'm going because I just did one short film part of anthology for an OTT. OTT, yeah, okay, you know, thank you. Okay, so that's how I'm going slow. I felt like just after finished like the Village Access when it came out, then I started getting calls. Then I thought it's too early for me. Let's take some time, and yeah, that's how I'm going. Let's see. But for me, I think I'm fortunate. I'm getting like projects. I did 3 projects till now. BRICS, you know, country, 5 countries, 3 projects. So that's how my life is going on. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes.
And one quick question, you mentioned world cinema. If there is one film that you would like to suggest that every aspiring filmmaker should watch, which would that film be and why?
I really don't know. I'm oh, there are many films.
One film that maybe made an impact on you.
8.5. And here, when I made Village Access, definitely that time I started watching Majidi's film, Children of Heaven, then Pathar Pachali. You know, that encouraged me, okay, I can go back to my village, and I just, you know, limited resources. can make a movie. So, but later on, I started watching more and more filmmakers. So I love watching Wonker Boy, Kurosawa, then definitely Fellini, Tarkovsky, Terence Malick. These are, many filmmakers. They have their unique style. I really enjoy that. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you. Can't wait for Village Rockstars too.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Was it like scary and you doubted yourself that like no, I don't want to like confused and I don't want to like go back to comfort? Was it ever like that?
Were you scared?
Ah.
Were you scared of making the film?
I was not scared because I bought a camera and I started. But I was sometimes confused. It was sometimes challenging. And but I was completely in love. So it is all about love, I think. If you love something, then just, and I gave everything. I died, I reborn, it's just like that. I think whatever from my experience, whatever I learned, you really have to take risk and you just have to sacrifice. Your cousin's wedding and many like kind of, you have to just sacrifice, then only you can do something. So there were many points. I was like a dual personality, because my parents, they didn't know anything about it, so there was no one such that to guide me, advise me. So I was myself. Yeah, so inspiring myself, talking, lots of self talk. But it is possible, I think. So overcoming your fear is the first challenge is how to overcome your fear. And doing for yourself, not to prove. I have met some film school, passed out friends. They have such expectation. They have that fear to prove. I think it is just whom to prove,
That's
nothing.
so
Yeah,
important.
that's
I
it.
missed out this
Yeah.
point. But the whole fact of that we are always scared of the fear of proving ourselves, our art, the pressure of creation. Do you feel pressure of creation, by the way?
No. I sometimes yes, but mostly no. Because when I made Village Rockstars, it was successful. Then suddenly the next year, because I was already shooting Bulbul Can Sing, so my friends were suggesting, Rima, don't do it. तुम्हारी ये film खराब, मतलब if you don't get that kind of success, तुम्हारा career ही ये हो सकता है. They will think, okay, ये तो ऐसे ही बन गया. But she cannot make another film. But then I thought, like, I never thought that way. And still, honestly speaking, Tora's husband it also premiered in Toronto, but it is traveling less festival because it is a different film. Then sometimes I felt also a bit, sad. Then I'm like, it's okay. It is just, it's a calling.
So from
It's a calling, like there is a poet sitting there, Madhu. So maybe when you are writing a poem, you are not thinking so much. But when it is a film and it is going to expose like to audience, you have a lot of pressure. But you will stop living your life, and
how
you
do you
will
find
kill
out the story?
your from life only people. If they inspire me and motivate me, and I'm just making those stories.
Film to make, and how do you choose your
It's
story?
just my instinct. That's it. At that point, at that moment, if I'm leaving that for some time, and also when I'm making by my own, it also like, oh, I'm thinking something, a superwoman, superhero, a thriller, horror films, and I feel like, no, I cannot now make it. I have a habit of just pick my camera and go, I cannot control myself. I have that thing. So during the lockdown, I think I worked a lot. I was making 2 films simultaneously. I was just working. So uh, I also, so it is just if I feel that I just want to go and make, then I just make it. But I'm going to control myself a bit. It's sometimes very tiring.
I think we are done with the
I
time
think
also.
so, yes.
And thank you so much,
Thank
Rima.
you. Thank you.
It was a lovely conversation, and thank you so much, all of you, to hear the stories.
Thank you for listening to me.
Yeah.
Listening
Wish you all the
us.
best for Village Rockstar 2.
And please watch our films. We actually, it's kind of a labor of love. So much love. Yeah. We'll come next time. And yeah.
Thank you.